Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2681. I'm your host, R. Me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Can really use it. Right. So yeah. Weather today is there's not a lot of wind. It's a bit the wind down here, which is kind of a nice breeze. I don't know if there's been trailing. It kind of looks like it has been, but can't really tell for sure. But yeah, it's still kind of a warm day. With some sun, a little bit of wind, and it's kind of a mild temperature. Yesterday was even, well, cooler. So yeah, yesterday I didn't do a show, had an appointment, and it was actually just really nice having a day off. Just not worrying about that. And I mean, when I got back, it was pretty damn late. It was like 5 o'clock, so I'm not gonna like do a show at 5. Right. So yeah. It is Friday, the 3rd of July, 2026. Temperature is now 21 degrees Celsius with 54% humidity, 16 kilometers an hour wind, and 0% precipitation. But I think it was yesterday was this temperature too. It just was a little bit more clouded. And yeah, a lot cooler in the evening. And yeah, it might be again because it's gonna be 14 in the evening now, according to this forecast. And yeah, going up and down, up and down. Saturday, tomorrow it's gonna be a little warmer, and then it's gonna cool down again a little bit to 20 on Tuesday, and then going right back up to 30 on Friday, building up to that. So yeah, we have not seen the last of the warm days, apparently. But yeah, with plenty of cool off days, which is great. They are much more enjoyable. And it's not that freaking hot. You can just focus better. Right. So yeah, hope you all had a great Thursday without me. I've run out of certain supplements, including magnesium, and I'm starting to kind of notice it, which is kind of irritating. Just makes me feel like I'm getting old. But I mean, it's nothing like really obstructional or anything. It's just like I just feel everything. It's just like, oh yeah, I feel like, and I focus. I can do pretty much anything you want. I just got to be a little bit more careful not to pull a muscle or something. That's really that's it. And I always have to be careful with that. But now it just feels like I have to be extra careful. But it's not even that bad. But I wish I could like afford the magnesium supplements just all the way. But I can't. and neither with the astaxanthin, which I really do appreciate that supplement a lot. But it's so freaking expensive, man. It's just not doable. Only on some occasions I'll go for it when I feel like I really should be taking it. And when I can afford that. Right. But yeah, I'll just have to do with sea moss and vitamin C and some fish oil and spirulina, which is relatively cheap, even organic. So, and that'll have to manage. Right. Yeah, I've been watching some soccer matches more of it, including this night, the whole bunch. It was intense. Was it? Yeah, man, the match between Croatia and Italy, right, was really intense. And I mean, it just felt like, I don't know what to think about the refereeing at this. It just all starts to really feel kind of political. It really does. And it's not like clear cut, like, dude, it's completely unreasonable, but it's, like, they just went really nitpicky. They really did, but it's like on all sides in ways. It just felt like they were nitpicking to kind of like keep the game exciting. Because other times I'm looking at it and it's like, wait, I think they like made it like they overlooked something, and then you don't get to see it back. And because there's like no score or anything, and then you don't get to see it back, and then it's like, yeah, just kind of slip by, even though it looked like there was an error there. It just had plenty of these moments. It just feels like they're nitpicking with their checks a lot. Like, okay, now it's really core important for the game flow, and then they do that. And yeah, I mean, the way this game went was not super popular. I mean, there was a lot of booing at times, and like justifiably. Because I mean, Portugal was also doing just fine. I did say Portugal, right? Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It was just to watch the game. It was very exciting. Like, I am actually like surprisingly enjoying the World Cup a lot. But I'm already getting these feelings like, I don't know. It just, because they have all this detail checking power so much. I mean, they prove it with all the camera views and slowed down stuff, and they got 3 men sitting right on it in a special room called the VAR, and sometimes I just get this feeling like there's some, like, I don't know, like it's getting meddled with, like, in Mad Quantum of Conscious terminology, like the not milk is like kind of like meddling with it. It really feels like it. And I mean, you can't really trace it, and I wondered, like, I'm doing it on purpose. This is an agitation technique. Is this standard corporate ad algorithmic influence shit somehow? But you just can't really tell, and that's the one they love the most, when it's neither country, like it's not even my country, and I just get this. But on the other hand, I just like to see like the kind of like the champions, the older guys that are still going along, and they had them on both sides. I really recognize the one from Croatia. I've seen that guy plenty of times, and I just like to see them crush it, you know. With it, but yeah, I do find the games very enjoyable. But I mean, in this knockout phase, dude, it really does feel like there's some just secret meddling going on somehow. Like they're trying to I mean, the NFL is notorious for doing that kind of crap. Like a lot of people. People are gonna mess, and they're gonna be prepared to mess with it somehow ahead of time. It's hard to get away from. It's almost impossible. Big events like that, unfortunately. So maybe that's it. But you can just feel that they're meddling with it. But on the other hand, it still was a really good game. It was just slightly unfair. And it's, yeah, I mean, what it also does, it kind of gives the whole thing more like a Big Brother reality show selection, right? Who goes to the next? It just gives it more of that feel, and it's like, no, that's not what I actually wanted to watch the soccer for, you know? I don't want them just to be picked. So yeah, I hope this is not going to get any worse. I mean, there's still plenty of soccer matches to go. But yeah, they gotta be careful with it, man. Because otherwise it's just gonna leave a lot of people going boo. Like, boo, this is not fair. Yeah, it's difficult. It's also difficult because there's, like, with the nitpicking, sometimes there's just some glorious moves that are done and like really epic looking, and then it's like disapproved, and every time that's such a fucking bummer. Like, it sucks. It doesn't matter on either side because it's just, ugh, like, that's not good. It's like a bitter pill to swallow every time that something like that happens. Because everybody just like went completely ape. Like, it's completely climaxing basically from the situation, what happened, and then to just like, oh, it's disapproved. It's so irritating every time. That's the actual football, and I like that. I like that thing. I don't know. Right, anyway, a bit of soccer. I've been watching it. It was pretty good. But yeah, I'm not like, I'm done with I'm done with the World Cup. They're all corrupt. Nah. I mean, yeah, they are, but I mean, I feel like they a lot of like, well, people, the commentators that get on television, like, I mean, they're not trying to like suck up to the organization or anything. So they're just like, if they suspect there's like trickery or whatever going on, they're gonna say it. And I do kind of appreciate that about them. What I appreciate less is like how they obnoxiously liberal, a lot of them. Generations invested in it like that, like not at all. Like, but yeah, whatever. It's just they're all getting old and they're all basically boomers and they still think they're in a liberal world and it's just not real. It just isn't. The illusion has popped. They just keep holding on to it though. Right, yeah, I did collect a whole bunch of clips. A couple of really remarkable ones. Hey, hello, keep me in your fear. Good to see you in the Rumble chat. Hope you're having a great day this Friday. Yeah, a whole bunch of clips all over the place. A bunch of politics, bunch of Tartaria, bunch of memes. And this thing. I was like really shocked to find this. It doesn't seem to be AI generated. If it were, you would immediately see that in the comments, but it seems like William Shatner might have figured out the Earth is flat after all. Which is like, I don't know, I like that. Remember when the Blue Origin and he went up there supposedly and I was all just like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then everybody was just like, it's all fake, and I got like kind of heartbroken about it because I mean, yeah, I have this weird sympathy connection with the guy, even though he's like kind of obnoxious and all that in a lot of ways, and he's full of it. But I mean, I find him just a very entertaining guy, and he's just interesting. And it's like pretty cool that he's living so long, like, and still relatively healthy and all that, and that he's still enthusiastic to like do stuff, like especially that he's like really wanting to do stuff at that age is like, that impresses me. And yeah, well, back then with the Blue Origin, he was all just like, oh, we have to save the planet, and he basically rolled out the whole liberal bullshit agenda, and it was also referenced by Alex Jones, of course, because it's like, oh damn it, he's such a globalist. But now he's talking to somebody on social media about it, and well, he does this. So check it out. I'm gonna play that now.
I have to have you clear something up, though, if you don't mind, on the show this week. The last time you were on, we had a clip that got like 2 million views because you said something, and then people are actually attacking me saying, that's not really Bill Shatner. That's why I'm glad you're on video this time.
What did I say? I take it back.
I asked you, when you were up in space, if you could clear the air of letting people know, is the Earth round or flat?
And can you confirm that the Earth is round? Because there's been a lot of talk that the Earth is flat. Are you able to tell that from space?
No. I have not seen complete proof that the Earth is round. You can't tell me that it's round with any great proof, other than somebody said, oh, I went around it. Well, that's their journey. My journey is, as far as I'm concerned, the Earth is flat.
Interesting.
And you actually said to me that there was no evidence to you that the Earth was in fact round, and until somebody proved it to you, it was flat. That's what you said, and people went friggin' nuts over it. I didn't realize people would go that crazy.
The Earth is flat. The illusion is that it's round. The Earth is flat. The illusion is that it's round. The Earth is flat.
Oh.
The illusion is that it's round.
Captain Kirk is back. Fuck yeah. I mean, it's funny and it's awesome. I love it. I'm a total fan again. I have to admit it. Could I share the link to that, please? Okay, sure I can. William Shatner is a fucking legend. There you go. I'm gonna put it in a title right away. I mean, this really made my day. It's actually giving me hope. Sounds pathetic, maybe. I don't care. So yeah, I'm gonna honor William Shatner with a mention in the title. He absolutely deserves that for this. Even though it might be a troll or something, I mean, it's not below him to troll people. But yeah, I just want to express my appreciation. I mean, I know he knows that the world is a pretty fucked up place with an insane, devilish amount of psychological warfare. So he's very well aware of the burden, and I'm going to take this as basically a recognition for our struggle. And that's probably me looking too much into it. Maybe he just wants a little bit of attention. That could be it too. And hey, William Shatner, dude, I'm all into Flat Earth. I'm all into Dungeons and Dragons. I know he is. I know he's done that, and he's thought it was very interesting. He had to do it with a bunch of SJWs and weirdos, though. So that, yeah. But he at least thought it was interesting. So I don't know, man. It would be pretty cool to actually talk to him about things, about a lot of things, about science fiction, about the flat earth, about maybe interdimensional things and D&D trips and aliens and all that. I'd be really interested to hear his views on him and try to compare it with my views and see what he would think about it. Because I mean, the guy has views. He does have a real inner world with his own ideas. That is a thing that he definitely always has had. And he's always been a little bit free-spirited. That he would choose a position, a view that is unusual. and in a way that would also keep people in and I'm basically trying to do my best to also have as much of that as possible. As far as a hermit can do that. Right. Anyway, yeah, shout out to William Shatner. Welcome to Flat Earth. I'd love to discuss the details with you if you would ever be up for that. Right. Not that I'm like a noteworthy figure, but I mean, I don't know if he would care. Maybe he would. Or maybe I've said a little bit too many things about the Jews or something that it's like too risky. I don't know. I don't know even his position about that at all. But I mean, he is closely related with Hollywood, so he probably knows to stay out of that. At least in front of the camera or a microphone. Right. Anyway, I thought it was cool. And, gonna keep track. Very curious to see what he's gonna be doing next. Right, I had other clips, but I don't necessarily want to go to them yet. Just wanted to share this. Hope you're all appreciating it. Don't forget to Rogans it up if you are. See, I got a couple of Rogans. That's nice, thank you. But oh yeah, and also to the Flat Earth debate crew, which is basically split up now, to Nathan Oakley and to all the other guys that are now at Ballbusters. Yeah? Screw you! Yeah? William Shatner, bitch! He knows Earth is flat! Who was fucking right? Okay? It's me, Arwen! Yeah? I'm back! It's just great. Let's play it again for the fun.
I have to have you clear something up, though, if you don't mind, on the show this week. The last time you were on, we had a clip that got like 2 million views because you said something, and then people are actually attacking me saying, that's not really Bill Shatner. That's why I'm glad you're on video this time.
What did I say? I take it back.
I asked you when you were up in space if you could clear the air of letting people know, is the Earth round or flat?
And can you confirm that the Earth is round? Because there's been a lot of talk that the Earth is flat. Are you able to tell that from space?
No. I have not seen complete proof that the Earth is round. You can't tell me that it's round with any great proof, other than somebody said, oh, I went around it. Well, that's their journey. My journey is, as far as I'm concerned, the Earth is flat.
Interesting.
And you actually said to me that there was no evidence to you that the Earth was in fact round, and until somebody proved it to you, it was flat. That's what you said, and people went friggin' nuts over it.
Did I see that in my psychic vision? That's very interesting. And thank you for asking, actually. I think I did. Just a snippet of it. But I mean, dude, I saw a whole ton of things. But I mean, I did also get to actually see a actual, not video simulation, but an actual Dark World full-blown simulation of even like meeting him and all that. Like in my vision, I met William Shatner. Also did the same with Alex Jones, by the way. He was not too appreciative. And that was part of the reason why, when the Blue Origin thing happened and he started to like really shill for the globalists, why I was so shattered. Pun intended, shattered, right? Shattered. Because I thought that basically my vision had betrayed me. That it was basically sadistically giving me some piece of hope that was completely illusionary. And that's happened before. Yeah, not everything in my vision is actually true. It's sometimes it just tried to completely fool me. And I managed to see through that foolery and the lies a lot. I already mentioned it yesterday, like, or a couple of days ago. I've mentioned it plenty of times that in the vision, every time something about Russia, they're always like, they're the evil ones. Oh, like actively attempting to or just steering my feelings, turning certain feelings on unnaturally while being confronted with that information. Because I was supposed to be super terrified and thought he was super evil. But I didn't fall for that, despite being physically manipulated in the process. Like, I could still tell. Right? So sometimes there would just be manipulations. Sometimes I basically got to see little really nice fantasies that were just completely not real. And then they would try to do that to like demoralize me. Just show me like, oh, see, there's a way out. There's something good gonna happen. Oh, no, it was fake. Like, really, dude, it was effectively being mentally tortured for a very long fucking time in the process. That's why I don't recommend it. Yeah, but it happened, and I got through it, I survived, and I learned as much from it as I could. And I'm still working through that freaking over 20 years later. At least now I don't go insane every time I think about it. Yeah, wasn't always like that. I mean, some people that remember me coming on earlier, like 10 years ago, and then when I would bring it up, like, yeah, it was freaky. And I talked about that. I actually had like real hallucination crap and fear spirals because of things that I remembered from my vision and all that. So yeah, it's basically a giant nightmare in like an experience sense, and that's why I don't recommend it. But it happened, and there's a lot to talk about for me and a lot to work through. It's a giant puzzle that spans in my entire life, pretty much. Not half my life, my entire life. Also because, and this was the most shocking thing about it. And this is really serious about, like, what really also proved that there was a time factor to it is because when I was much younger, I had pre-visions. And it's really shocking. I had pre-visions of what was going to happen. Yeah? Myself from the future came to me from the not too distant future, like in the projection, in the dark world. Basically, the dark world opened out of nowhere in the middle of the night as I'm sleeping, and like I met myself from the future, and I did not like what I saw because I was basically kind of disturbed. Like, I was wild and scared, but like a little still brave and all that. But I mean, it was definitely not the thing that I had hoped to become, like when I was 8, something like that. But I did meet myself from my adult self back then. Tried to help me out, tried to give me tips, but I refused them because I was a really fucking stubborn kid. And I thought I was being tricked. I basically didn't even believe something, and then I was in that fucked up position, and then it just felt very doomed. And yeah, my younger self definitely did not like that. It was very much against my better natured instinct to allow myself to go to that. But yeah, when I was much younger, I had no idea how fucked up dark the world really was. How deeply infected with it was. Not just that evil was there, I knew that, but I didn't know how deeply it was embedding itself already. I had no idea. I was very ignorant of that when I was very young. So yeah, the vision related. But yeah, I did get to see also William Shatner in his younger version and in his older version, and I thought it was just a really sympathetic dude. Like, he was not perfect, but I just like him. I like him in spirit. I can't help it. And I don't know, him doing this, I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if he's gonna stick to it, you know. He might just be like, yeah, well, I just don't really know. He can just do that. He's William Shatner. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. You know? So I'm not like thinking like, oh, he's definitely our champion now forever. No. But he's willing to just go there. So that is pretty cool.
Right, I didn't realize people would go that crazy.
The earth is flat. The illusion is that it's round. The earth is flat.
It's perfect. I mean, he proves that he gets it. He also just mentioned that it's an illusion, so he's really looked into the psychology of it. And he is a guy that is interested in psychology. Like his own eclectic version of it is something he's built all his life. And just, those are the type of things that I just admire about him. He's like his own, he has a very strongly developed inner world. Anyway. Vision that the leaders of the world would realize that the earth is not a globe one day. No, but it's not really relevant though. I mean, the whole point, the vision showed that world leaders are basically they're just trying to fulfill their tasks and doing their part in the bigger play. We're gonna graft that into the story to have a proper balanced response, like within the statecraft theater. And that's just how they deal with it. It's how all of them do it. It's how Russia deals with, like, they know, they better know. They better know that nukes are fake. But they should, and they have developed beyond the need of it. As statecraft are going to be outdated, but they're still going to just keep using it. It's just going to turn more and more symbolic, right? And then it's just going to be like, no, it's always a metaphor. It's nukes. Yeah, this is a metaphor for just like a really big bunker buster that just blows the whole block apart. Like, yeah, it's not nuclear, but it's tactical. Right? Statecraft. Never heard of state. That's not statecraft, statecraft. And it's my word for it. It's based on the word that they graft into the virtual reality of the statehood reality. Right? Which is also including to be on a ball Earth. Yeah, being on a ball Earth in outer space and space missions. It's all statecraft. Purely statecraft. It's state theater illusions that are part of the government, yeah, governing the minds of the people, which are suspended in nukes are a part of that. Globe Earth is a part of that. Aliens are definitely a part of that, but I mean there is a lot to be figured out about the past. Right? Aliens may be like a repackaging, an attempt to repackage what the actual ancient past used to be. Right? And they're already saying like, oh, the aliens came to us and then they changed the Homo sapiens into the modern humans and build a bunch of stuff. So that's basically a repackaging of, well, the biblical story of the fallen angels coming down, meddling with us, changing the place, cutting down the giant trees. A big flood happens, a lot is built, and then a big flood happens, and the old world is basically gone, petrified. And then you have the classical era, and lots of it happens there, including Yahweh appearing and melting a bunch of stuff. And then completely fabricated. But elements of it were definitely there. It's just it was really downgraded. And all that, they rewrote it to actually normalize pedophilia, because I don't think it was actually ever really normal. I think that's actually like a satanic infraction, right? There's this general sense of everybody thinking back. It's like, oh, way back in biblical times, it's like, yeah, they married very young. But since that entire thing has been rewritten, wouldn't the people that are obviously part of a bigger evil, the creeping corruption, are you sure they wouldn't just make up that pedophilia was normal? Oh, the Greeks, oh yeah, they did that. Oh. Did they now? Did they really? What's the real evidence of that? And I'm not saying that in the past nobody's ever had that, but I mean, I think that the impact actually would be way more gruesome, and it wouldn't result in a long-term stable society like the Greeks were, the ancient Greeks. Like, that just makes no sense. So I have a suspicion this is literally me trying to find a way through, trying to, like, have you ever considered that maybe since the ancient past has been largely rewritten, that they rewrote it to actually make pedophilia and homosexuality normal, when in fact it may not have been normal at all and much more punishing to go there. In reality, like, ever consider that it might have also been made up? Right, anyway, I'm wandering off here, but yeah, statecraft. Statecraft is the theater of governments, and they work together, not necessarily in cooperating, but in cooperating with the story format. The stage, the statecraft is the science fiction universe that is pretended to be real, and it's also reinforced by like Hollywood movies that are like there to show it to you. Like, there, where do you find the nukes, right? Where do you find the dinosaurs? Where do you find the aliens? In the movies. In the movies. Yeah, the statecraft is heavily reinforced by movies. Have been for 100 years. They're the ones that basically started it. They're the indoctrinators of the science fiction. And then when governments like reference that sort of thing or trying to do something with it, it's seen as, wow, they're really modern. They're trying to go into the future like the science fiction movies. And it works. It works on people. They fall for it. They start to think that the science fiction is actually accurately predicting the future and that it can happen. But they don't see that the statecraft illusions are all presupposed within it. That the Earth is a globe, that there's an outer space, that you can go there. The nature of our past and the dinosaurs and maybe aliens, right? All that. And viruses, of course. Never forget the frickin' viruses. I mean, that's a monster statecraft that has been exploited on a world scale. So you can't forget about that. It's a very serious piece of statecraft. I mean, literally an invisible, indetectable particle that's not even really sophisticated laboratory, then still, like, how are you going to prove it wrong or right? Other than just pointing out, like, hey, there is no actual evidence it exists. But it's been applied everywhere. Yes, well, so was the theocracy. So were the priestly rules of how everything is supposed to be and what is real and what isn't. During the theocracy, that's now recognized, even officially, as like, okay, that's... Yeah, they were making that up to maintain power. Oh, you mean like statecraft? You're recognizing that the theocracy had statecraft? Statecraft. And it's not about religious things. God, it's actually about this reversed world reality where everything is completely the opposite of what is actually real. I think that is the statecraft that everybody's now using for 100 years. Lysias said that people forget the previous age because the language is forgotten. Schooling, you have to learn this language and they're forced to convert. That does in that sense, if you're forced suddenly over one generation or two generations to completely learn a new language and you have to speak that under threat of punishment, that does kind of make you forget what things were like before, because it's such a different way of going about all of a sudden. So it's not a slow deviation, it's like an abrupt total format change. Yeah, that does actually make you forget how things were done before. That spirit is discontinued that way. So in that sense he is right, but on the long run it's no, totally not. I mean, humans are humans, and once you figure that out, then you realize that it doesn't matter how far back you go, there are humans, and they will have this depth, and they will have this resourcefulness, and they will have the same sins and burdens and like and even in the not too far past, you can already see like what people were like based on the storytellings about it. That there were periods where people were basically out of their minds because they just didn't know who they were anymore, and they were like roughed up to forget their own traditions and cultures, and that really fucks people up because we need those things. We had those things to keep us stable, to give us direction, to give us purpose. That is so incredibly important. And a lot of the statecraft was actually to uproot that family tradition, the family tradition in general, but also the family tradition of teaching the views of your family, teaching that development, the storytelling, learning continuation. And that uprooting of that has resulted in entire periods of complete madness, where people basically just started to act like animals. They just didn't know they didn't know what was going too far. They just didn't know anymore because they had their entire purpose being uprooted. And sudden changes of like the country, and like, oh, country gets conquered. It's really dramatic what that does. Anyway, do you think that we are smarter than people who lived 100,000 years ago? No, absolutely not. If anything, we are more burdened by toxic influence. The only difference really is that we have an abundance of information assistance. And that's something they didn't have back then. Back then, it was only about the roots, and every individual that had knowledge was a walking treasure. It was people that had knowledge were very revered because when they died, it's all gone, right? That's really how that worked. So, but they had long-rooted, well-tested knowledge back then, and things that we don't even remotely remember. Just like as a lot of esoteric traditions and that we don't really understand anymore, not as to the actual function why they were that way, which was much more subtle than we could possibly understand now with our short-term, overly reasoned out way of thinking. So no, we're not smarter people than 100,000 years ago. Absolutely not. But we have an abundance of information available to us. Right? And I mean, with doing it the right way means you can get very far. With that, we can be as sharp as somebody 100,000 years ago. But it's really because of the abundance of sources. What the fuck's going on? Somebody left the stove on. Hold on. Hope it's not inside here. No, it was not. It's the neighbors again. That happens more often. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate the interaction with the chat. It's stimulating. I would love to hear William Shatner's opinion about my notion of statecraft. I would be so honored if he had a conversation about that with me or anybody else. I mean, if William Shatner literally wants to steal this, like my phrasing of it, if he wants to copy it, I give him full permission to do it. It would be really cool if he at least contacted me though, but I do not mind if he just wants to basically master this, make this his own. Take it, sir. I mean, William Shatner could frickin' talk about this a lot if he got into it, into the idea of statecraft. He's been a part of it through Star Trek, and he figured that out very quick, and then he flaunted with it a bit. But I must now know that it's very serious, and the psychological implications of this on the long run. He must realize this. He must know. I don't see how he could have that escape his conscience. Anyway, hope you all appreciate the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you do. Oh yeah, this clip. I'll play this. It's a bit rough. So yeah, I'm an hour in. Clip time. 3 minutes long. I'm also gonna take a bit of a smoke break at the same time, so...
Hello, I'm from the government with an update on humanity's gentle slide back into feudalism. Brought to you by Brando. It's got electrolytes. And now please rise for our first trillion. Hail! Of course, when you wake up to the obscene inequality we've enabled, you'll want to fight back. That's why billionaires are building the tools to protect themselves. From you, tools like Palantir. Hi, I'm from Palantir, the military contractor and AI software company, named after the all-powerful Seeing Stones Tolkien warned us not to leave in the hands of evil bastards. Thankfully, we are very wise and balanced, like our CEO, who can't stop talking about killing people, wants an AI arms race, and gets a boner talking about the West's superiority in applying organized violence. And our founder, who thinks Greta is the Antichrist,
knows about the Antichrist,
and no longer believes freedom and democracy are compatible. Hail! By freedom, of course, Pete means freedom for him and his Broligarch mates to rule the world. And that's where Palantir comes in. Let's meet some of our valued clients. Hello, I'm from ICE. Kidnapping people off the street is hard work, but not with Palantir. Palantir makes it easy for us to link your tax file, social security license, and plates into AI-driven hit lists. Sure, we mostly use it on migrants now, but Palantir will come in real handy when we need to round up the resistance. Thanks, Palantir. Hello, I'm from the government of Israel. Committing war crimes is hard work, but not with Palantir. AI-assisted targeting makes it simple to murder thousands of people, even if most of them are civilians, according to our own reports. Thanks for supporting our genocide, Palantir. Here at the British government, we heard Palantir is used for war crimes and said, hey, let's give them a contract with our NHS. Could someone abuse that data? No. It's not like Palantir's UK CEO is the grandson of a known fascist, Nazi-loving anti-Semite. Hail! Here at the Australian government, we have no fucking clue. So while others are ditching Palantir due to fears over data safety and its ties to El Duce, we've let Palantir into our defense department, banks, and even supermarkets. G'day, I'm from Coles. Price gouging you wasn't enough, so we hired Palantir to track and cut costs on our already underpaid serfs. I mean, staff. Sadly for us, people are realizing what fucking psychos we are here at Palantir. That's why France just ended our contract. British MPs want us out of the NHS, and GetUp is campaigning to kick us out of Coles, which is a good start. Except Palantir is just one head of the Hydra. The underlying problem are these billionaire shitcoins and the feudal dystopia they're building around us. So if you like democracy, now would be a great time to wake the fuck up and stop them while you still can. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Good luck. Authorized by the Department of Tech Bro Feudalism.
She's not wrong. You know what? Let's take a bit of a look around in the news. Wow. Amazing. There's some upheaval about NATO propaganda. Hey, I brought it up. I brought it up recently. It sickens me. It really does. They heavily try to gaslight you, and it's find it monstrously offensive. And yeah, people in our government here, somebody actually said verbatim, NATO propaganda doesn't exist. Wow. Just wow. Sick. Yeah, and they're part of it. I'm gonna pay for it. Yeah, it's all war crime. All of it. NATO's been doing, violating their principles, making up propaganda, and coordinating the targeting of civilians. I mean, it's not official yet, but I mean, damn sure they did. Or they're at least like cooperating with a group that does that without flinching. But yeah, they're war criminals. And a lot of Dutch politicians here that are part of the cartel are also part of that. So yeah, NATO propaganda doesn't exist. Really? Everything they say is true? Yeah, it seems also that Iran's caught on to the game statecraft. Because they are now claiming to have nukes. Which, I mean, I told them, like, yeah, that's very easy. Even in theory, they could just get a nuke very quickly. And I mean, it's not outside of, like, what it actually technologically supposedly requires to do that. Yeah, it's very freaking easy for them. It's no, like, they can do way more sophisticated technology that they built from scratch. So, yeah, of course they can theoretically build a nuke easily. And they've realized, like, yeah, we could do the same statecraft as North Korea and just say we got one, and that should change the game. And it does. Yeah, also something that happened, I think, did I mention that on Wednesday? I think so. That Russia did new strikes on Kiev. As a retaliation to the late, yeah, that's it still keeps going. Right. I think that's kind of it. I'll just share my own words. I've never really shared an RT video. But yeah, this is ridiculous. But I mean, not surprising since RT just can, like, counter NATO propaganda. Slightly propagandish, but it's not even malevolent propaganda. I've not seen that at all from them. I think RT is just a very reasonable news organization. And it's a good source. But you can't share videos now on your website or you'll get arrested. Right, I got more clips. So let's take a look at this. little ancient architecture in the middle of the ocean. And check this out. Pacific. Let's see, take a look at it again. It's just an island. Looks more like a sunken giant fortress or something. Amazing. Very old. Maybe even pre-classic. Pre-classical era. Oh yeah. So it's cool. Some more flat earth.
It's November 26, 2015, in the Okanagan Valley area around Vernon, British Columbia. And a thing to point out here that's so obvious is that no matter where we fly, here you can see the Earth is flat. Sure, there's mountains and valleys and rivers and such, but it's flat. It's a plane. It's definitely not a ball or a globe. Now, I've been in Cessnas flying fairly long distances and such, and you could fly right across Canada here and it's going to be flat. That's just what it is. Now, the ball Earth people will say, well, you know, it's because the Earth is so big, and that doesn't fly. Those are the same people that say you can see a ship go over the edge.
It doesn't fly, and this guy, obviously, as he's demonstrating here, is definitely the person to say it, because he does fly.
No, on the shore. If that were the case, you know, you wouldn't see this like this. Some of these mountains, the start of them in the distance is 250 kilometers away, like there, and we're seeing way beyond that. You know, we're about between 3,000 and 5,000 feet in this flight, and it's flat.
And now, we've all been to air shows and we've seen pilots doing tricks, right? They flip the plane around in 3D space.
This is my perspective, by the way.
And I'll tell you
Recognize
that
his voice.
the pilot maintains his position to the ground
The French accent.
through the use of his gyroscope. So the gyroscope, as his position changes, it has to be flat. It has to be level with a flat, level surface. So if the plane takes off, the gyroscope is maintaining the pilot's position that he took off from. The horizon is always flat and level. No matter which axis the pilot spins on, his X, his Y, his Z, and he's moving in 3D space at the same time at a phenomenal speed. He always comes back and he's relying on his gyroscope, that the horizon is true. All he worries about is the horizon. That tells you that the Earth is flat. The pilot doesn't have to rearrange all three axes on the gyroscope. It tells you it's flat. It's as simple as that.
Yep. I mean, I do bump into like flat earth stuff, lots of it, but I mean, I only really like to share videos like that when they're, I don't know, when they have clear educational elements to them, but like it really helps to elucidate how it works. And those are the types of videos I would share. And not really the superficial stuff. I mean, there's so much of it. A lot of flat earth is kind of goofy out there. Right, politics and whatnot. Oh yeah, yeah. This was so freaking funny. Let's play this thing first. Awakened Minds is just so many of these videos. So it's the conspiracy theory. Giants. Giant staircases. Giant faces. Who lifted the blocks? Wow. Holy shit. It's a big sword. And it's a really big door. I mean, it's so epic and it's so true. I can't believe that the mainstream still denies giants. It's so retarded. I mean, it doesn't work. It's the worst form of statecraft. Yeah, denying something is there that's blatantly there. That's the worst. Like, if a statecraft just tells you to not believe your own eyes, it doesn't really work. It's messy. It just sows distrust of government. They should have grafted in giants in the statecraft. They really, really should. That would have like fixed a lot of issues. But they didn't. It didn't fit evolution. Which was like the worst idea ever. That should have never been embraced. Because it was so flawed. And like still, like even in the mainstream, it's still just considered a theory and not really fact. I know there's enthusiasts about it, but I mean, scientifically, it is still considered theory and not fact. It just is. Anyway, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break and I'll be right back. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking the show. I'm back. Hope you're still watching. Looks like a lot of people went away for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, the politics one is about, again, Ukrainian situation, the propaganda of NATO. But it's all how these Forum for Democracy guys can actually just maintain doing this on this level. Like, I wouldn't know how to do that. I would find it so draining. I would get so easily irritated. I don't know how these guys could just keep their composure all the time. It's incredible. What a skill. Anyway, I'll save it for another time maybe. This was kind of funny. Remember remember the girl? I love that. I mean, I might have a little crush on that tall girl. She's so awesome.
Amazing. This is a strong woman, not taking a backward step, standing up for herself, for her teammates, for her friends, but also staying in control. And it's so much more powerful because she's not becoming overly emotional, even though it's okay to become emotional as well and to lose control of your emotions. We're all human, blah, 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 blah. This was 2 days ago. My daughter has not stopped pointing at me when I say legitimate things like, finish eating your dinner, please. Have a bath, it's time for your bath. Put down the phone and pick up a book. It's ruining my life. She
What
has
did you expect?
weaponized this incredible moment against me.
Duh!
And it's driving me insane.
Welcome to motherhood. Seriously. Like, my friend in Nijmegen, she has a daughter, and like, that daughter does this sort of thing too. Very, very smart and very rebellious in nature and very, obtuse. And so, I mean, strong woman. I know, it's cool, right? Maybe, like, around early puberty is not really the time you want to, like, introduce that sort of thing, right? You want to bring that up when your daughter is, like, feels really demoralized or really sad or something. Feels like she can't be strong. That's when you should bring it. You shouldn't just bring it up. They'll go crazy with it. They're gonna use it. They're gonna use it against you. That's what kids do. Especially little girls. So, yeah. Really funny. And, like, totally logical, though. Am I right? But it's really funny to bump into that. Let's move on. Oh, yeah. That was cool. Politics. Spain is demonstrating against the EU. Good. Viva la España.
Basta de utilizar la agricultura para favorecer otros sectores y basta de firmar acuerdos con terceros países que lo único que hace es que el campo español desaparezca. No podemos tener una reforma con menos dinero y que nos pidan más cosas. No podemos tener una agricultura que cada día tiene más papeles y menos agricultores.
Go for it. And I mean, it's everywhere. It's also in the Netherlands, where we got farmers still doing their demonstration against these insane supposed environmental policies, which are obviously fake. Can anyone pronounce my name? You mean Yerst Hope It? What? How did I mispronounce your name? What are you talking about? I mean, I'm gonna pronounce it from an American perspective. Because I'm talking English here. Or American, if you will. Right. Let's play this. Reference to Antarctica. little thing about Admiral Byrd's speech and footage. The footage. I don't know if I've ever seen even this footage before, but let's play it.
Bunger leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh, the temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization.
Mountain ranges with peaks 20,000 feet above sea level. The trimetric lenses, clicking overlapping exposures every 3 seconds, photograph from horizon to horizon. Coal, a mountain of coal. Byrd later declares Antarctic mines, if once tapped, could supply the world's coal needs for centuries. These official motion pictures can give only a cross-section of the miles of photographic records accumulated on this expedition by the Navy. The exposed mapping film will take 5 years to assemble. Amplifying these are the radar magnetic detectors, accurately recording mineral discoveries of immense value for the future use of all mankind.
Yeah, right.
England, Norway, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, South American countries, and Soviet Russia are claiming Antarctic territory. The United States recognizes no claim, and so far has made no formal claims for itself. But international policies cannot concern the Admiral now. His duty is to keep his flying laboratories functioning, to fulfill his dream of a lifetime.
Heavy, right? I did find the lady at the coffee shop. Oh. Okay. You're in the Netherlands? How are you, Zep Tappy? Maybe not. Whatever. Never been there. Okay. What kind of coffee shop are you talking about? Are you actually just talking about a place where you can get coffee and that's it? East Coast US. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, coffee shop means something different over there as it does here in the Netherlands. Then again, so does football, which you guys call soccer. For an hour and a half. I'm gonna move towards rounding out the show. What's this? Oh yeah. I think that like, it's interesting. There's like a development in the Western world, and should be everywhere else too, where basically Christianity, because they're getting assaulted a lot, including by Muslims, but I mean, yeah, by communists as well. In the past, definitely. There's finally a new movement coming out, a new development where it's going to be, if you really want to be a Christian, you have to actually be able to fight to defend yourself. It's not just, oh, it's all peace and turn all the cheeks to everybody and your butt cheeks while you're at it. Like, no, that's got to end. And I've been very irritated about that for pretty much throughout my life. It's like, no, you gotta fight. It's basically a crusader type spirit, but in the first instance it should mostly be defensive. And then maybe after that, a crusade type of movement to help Christians in other places in the world. But we definitely got to start here. I mean, places like Nigeria, they should definitely also like learn to defend themselves properly, and get that going as a religious cultural development worldwide. I really think so. Right. And there's like, it's starting to bubble forth. I mean, like, typically online and social media, you see a lot of like, the Crusades were back, and it's like, no, we have a long way to go with that. And like, the people that do that, they're not really the typical churchgoers. Like, the churchgoers are all very pacifist, and that's been like ingrained through Western society for at least a century. You don't need a savior? Okay. I mean, what? If a savior means like somebody else is gonna save you and you want, that's not really durable. It's very sheepish. But I mean, still need Jesus. Definitely need his wisdom and his insight, his guidance. His wisdom is like a map. Definitely need that. But it would just be better if Christianity became a little bit more about defense. Basically, what would be really cool is if Christianity would start to basically promote self-defense, even culturally and societally, and maybe, it's probably not going to happen, attempt to bring back the Second Amendment kind of thing. We never really had that here in Europe, not like America does, but we did have, not even over 100 years ago, we did have the right to bear arms. Not everybody would do it. And we eventually thought we just didn't need it anymore because we were so civilized, and we were really at peace, and we did pretty well. But I mean, we're not like that anymore. It's a mess now. We got problems, cultural and immigration, etc. And so I feel that real proper self-defense could potentially make a comeback, and through Christianity. And I mean, American Christians would definitely help carry that banner, if you know what I mean, since I mean they have their Second Amendment and they are not like, we don't do that. we're only of peace here. No. American Christians, they know how to self-defend. Like, and yeah, we should get that back here too in Europe if we want to maintain our Christianity. That's my opinion. That's my view on it. It was just a character in Greek literature. No. Stop. It doesn't freaking matter. Yeah, I've said it many times. Like, it doesn't matter even whether Jesus actually existed or not. It's all about the wisdom. It's a map. You have to recognize that map. That it's true and that it works and it's the better way. It's the middle path that he points at. Everything he does. It's up to us to figure that out about it. Not to be indoctrinated by priests and their opinions of how you should be a Christian, but to actually just read it and then draw your own conclusions, what it actually means. And that's a complicated process, and a lot of people will just stumble and be off-put by it and then not wanting to become Christians. That's kind of natural that happens. Don't understand how people can wake up from globe delusion and still believe in Christianity. That makes no sense. No. Flat Earth is very Christian. Very biblical. So I can't see how you can make that connection, really. Yeah. Yeah, Jesus existed. In some form. And then he was iconified by Christian religion, by the Vatican basically, in very specific ways. Iconographized. But like, that's not important. The importance is that there was a man, and the man had very special connection and a very pristine wisdom. Had an insight that just was eons ahead of his time. Like, he really got it so quick, and he shared the basic guidelines. And that is true, and it's true, and it's evident within the words themselves, no matter where they come from. Yeah? They told you? No, they don't. Just stop. Stop. This is bullshit. You're not listening. You don't seem to be interested in it at all. Yeah, hey, if you want to have nothing to do with it, then have nothing to do with it. But, I mean, don't act like a glober about it. Okay? Yeah. The globe is not Christian. It's not... I mean, people have managed to hold on to, like, Christian priesthoodness. That the real final form... that is not proper, that Christ definitely warned about within the freaking Bible in a lot of ways, and people still do it and become part of the organization, etc. And carry forth the globe, as like does the Catholic Church, which is an atrocity, really. But it's a false church. It's all been warned about. Like, Jesus is real, but the organized religions, the institutes Jesus warned about, in my view, they are technically like an antichrist, or at least slightly. And the people within it that might not even realize that about it. They will still just follow the wisdom of Christ as much as they can, follow their senses, not realizing that they are in a monstrosity. That's basically a violation of the very same wisdom But I mean, they might realize it eventually. Some of them do. Oh, sorry, you didn't know how to agree with me? No. It just has to make sense. What you say has to make sense. Yeah, that much I demand. It has to actually make sense. You can't just say random shit that makes no sense and then expect me to not react to that to try to correct it. Yes. Yeah, I think I'm through all my subjects. I'm not gonna play the political cabinet video. Right. I'm gonna run out the show. So thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are on the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live. Or subscribe to my channel, support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2682 on a Saturday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Friday. Have a good weekend. And until the next video, keep it flat.